Welcome to ATP Customs. Well, today is a quick video on the infamous clunk that my coilover shocks were giving me. So maybe this video will help some people out there. This just happens to be the scenario and the issue that I had with mine. So let's do a little refresher. I bought a set of QA1 coilover shocks for my 1985 Mustang. And when you look up the parts, they say that they fit all the way up to, I can't remember what year, but I think it's 04 or something like that. But it's supposed to fit the 94 Mustang as well. So I ended up wrecking out that car because it was too rusty, and I had them on the car, and I actually never got to use the car very much. Drove it around the block a couple times. So it fit the car just fine. Put them on this car, and they fit this car just fine. Then I decided I needed to go to a great big set of slicks on this thing. So we have 315 50 17s, and they're big, and definitely had to raise the coilovers, not all the way to the top, but I'm going to say 3/4 of the way. And what was happening was you could grab this fender right here and lift the car, actually, stretch the suspension out, and you would get a massive clunk, and it felt like it was right at the top of the shock. So I went through all sorts of ideas, making little rubber spacers and everything, thinking it was the shock and the top of where the shock comes through the floor. That was not the issue. I watched videos on guys that said it was the coil spring and you have to use some lithium grease. That was not the issue. Really what the issue was I should have ordered a longer set of shocks when putting such tall tire on, because we had to raise it up so much for the clearance. Now, when you're looking at that, that's probably half inch to 3/4 of an inch clearance. We didn't have a lot of room, and on the back side of the tires, I needed a little clearance for the fender wells. We had to bash them all in. Had to roll the inside of the fender to fit them on. So there was a lot of manipulating to get those on. And then I was getting a horrific clunk. Like, I would back it out of the shop over the smallest bump, and you thought that the whole rear end was falling out of this car. So what we did was we took the shocks completely apart. Have had them out 7 times now. But the last time we took the whole coilover completely apart, and everything felt fine. So all we did was just lower them down approximately 1/2 of an inch, I believe, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And that is as low as I can go with these tires. And it seems to have improved, I'm going to say about 85%, 90% better. There's still a tiny bit of a clunk, but it's not near as noticeable. So the solution would have been to get a longer shock for these tires, because they're extended way too much to fit those. And that solves that problem. I have been chasing this problem for I don't know how long. I've been messing around with it for the last 6 months, trying to figure out what is going on. And problem solved. Very thankful I can move on with this car, finally. It was driving me nuts. But if that helps anybody with your coilover clunk, hopefully it does. If not, sorry it didn't. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe.